today do passing skills first, then move into actually jogging, running with passing. Then we're going to start working on how to attack wide channels and what you need to be doing in order to set that up. Because a lot of times we just get in a line and we pass until we get to the end and hope to God the girl on the end's faster than the other person, or that man's bigger and can crash straight through. Whatever it is, we rely on athleticism. So we're going to focus on what you can do to actually set yourself up ahead of time for that opportunity. So if everybody could get 1 or 2 partners and a ball, we'll go ahead and start with passing skills. We're gonna start with the ball loose in our hand. You don't gotta grip it, you don't gotta hold it, you don't gotta like put it special in your hand, just let it sit there. And with it sitting there, you're gonna bring it to your hip, elbows kind of flexed a bit, and push it to your friend. So she's gonna push it back to me, elbows a little flexed, put it around your hip height, hold it low, and then just push it to me. There you go, nice, light in your hand, push it out to your friend. Yep, there we go. So we're just gonna do that for about 2 minutes. If I'm always pulling up, the ball is always gonna go up. If I'm flicking with my bicep and making it go up like a bicep curl, ball's gonna go up in the air. So ball, instead I'm trying to extend my arm out at the end. So from here where it's already bent, I've got tension, I push through and my arm's straight at the end of that throw. Does that make sense? So go ahead and bring it back. And on the other arm, same thing. I've got it at my hip, and I push out at the end. When I release the ball, I should be in a position that I can go and shake his hand. If I was going to pass the ball here, I should be in a position that I can go and shake his hand. Does that make sense? If I'm slapping you across the thing, then the ball's gonna go up and away. So instead, I stop right in this position. So good? Then you stand right to your target. Go. A lot of people want to put it up here. Problem is, by putting force on top, we also force the ball down. We don't want that. So instead, I should be able to just put a finger on the side of it and do the exact same thing as if my hand was there. So if my finger's here, I can push it off. Now I don't expect you to do that yet. But what I want you to do is go ahead and turn your body sideways. You're still making the exact same pass. So instead of pushing from the side of me straight forward, I'm pushing from in front of me across my body. Does that make sense? If for the sake of your hands, you need to go ahead and put that finger there to balance it, that's fine. What we're focused on now is instead of pushing forward, I've still got the ball here making the exact same motion, but it's starting in front of me and coming across. So across my body, and I still end up in that shaking hand position. Make sense? Remember, don't start ball down here, elbows up, so the ball's around my waist height, and I'm pushing across, and I can shake her hand. Go ahead. My arms come out away from my body. An early pass goes forward, a late pass goes back. I want to try to make that ball go on a straight line. So starting from my hip, whether I've got a second finger on it or not, the idea is to make it go from here to her without arcing. So I go straight through, and my pass doesn't have an opportunity to go forward, backward, high, or low. It follows that line to my target. Does that make sense? So as you go this time, try not to swing low through it, and try not to swing out away from your body. You've got it sitting on your hand, and you're pushing it in a straight line. What I have to do now is pass with my elbow up the entire time. If my elbow's down, what am I gonna hit? My own leg. So instead, I'm forcing this. It's gonna feel a little awkward at first because the ball's so high, but it forces you to learn elbow up and to drive through from the elbow and shoulder. So I'm here, and I try to get to her. And just like that, I've passed a million passes, and that wasn't a super pretty one. I tell myself, okay, I need to scoot in. Okay, that one felt better. I'm gonna get used to passing, elbow up, drive through. When you feel fine with one arm, go to the other arm. All the way down, just walking and passing, which for a lot of people is harder than you think because they get so used to passing standing still, doing thousands of reps standing still, that the moment they start to move, they start to go back to bad habits. Arms come out, or they just stop and swing. We want your feet to be moving, hips are going downfield, and you pass to the next person. So passing in groups of 3, so now you have to slow down, let her speed up. Pass back across. There we go. So in groups of 3, you're just moving down the field. What am I looking for though as far as spacing that gets hard?
Your teammates get used together.
My teammate's pace. So what about my teammate's pace matters?
You have to watch it.
I have to watch for what though?
Forward passes.
Forward passes. I have to watch where they are. I have to make sure that I get in front of them before I pass. If I receive a pass and just go to swing and she was in front of me, she's not going to receive it, right? If I'm moving super fast and I pass and they're 40 meters back, he's not going to catch it, right? So I check where they are before I pass, and I need to make sure I'm behind the person about to make the pass. So that requires speeding up and slowing down as you move through this. Still just a jog, not a sprint or anything. We are gonna have to think about our motions. Let's go.
On your right. I'm real bad about wanting to pull back.
Somebody other than Cody, remind me what Cody said gets harder as you move.
Forward,
Spacing. Thinking. All right, so we have to think as we move. Otherwise, we're never in a good position. Otherwise, we're never attacking. Otherwise, we're just running into people, maybe into space, into the sideline, backwards. You got to think about where you're going. So can I get this group to just break into two and join these two? So don't get confused. We're still using 3 people. Every single time you pass, you're going to follow your pass, okay? So what's your name?
Madison.
Madison's going to move up. Daniel. So Madison's gonna pass and follow her pass and get in that line. We're gonna pass back into Daniel, and then we're gonna get behind Daniel. Follow your pass. Daniel passes back, follows his pass. Does that make sense?
Are you left, Sammy? Double here. Double here.
Why does this drill go slower than the previous one? Which direction am I running after I follow my pass?
Behind it.
Backwards. So I'm getting into a position deeper. If my friend catches the ball from a deep position, only takes 2 steps and passes to me in a deep position, and then they pass behind me in deep position, we don't move forward very fast, do we?
No.
So what do you have to do as you're catching the ball?
Gain ground.
Gain ground, speed up, attack forward a little bit. So all we're adding this time is that you need to move harder onto the ball, catch, and maybe you're passing to someone who then runs hard, and then they pass to somebody who then runs hard. It's not that you have to run hard the whole time. The things that actually throw off a defense in sevens are changes of pace and changes of direction. So all we're trying to do is change our pace a little bit. I'm moving, ball gets thrown, and I move forward. Make sense? So you're changing your pace as you go. What was the other thing Madison said? You can say it.
Spacing.
Spacing. So what happened to our spacing?
You get too tired.
Or too wide. Right. So as you get fatigued, you start to squeeze together, and then somebody realizes it and they tell you all to bunch out, but then you've got maybe one person who's tired and it throws off the whole timing at that point. You gotta just maintain like a decent 8 to 10 meter width, maybe 5 if you're newer, but you don't want to be squeezing in and out without communicating that to each other. So you can see about how far apart they are down there. You're already closer now than you started on the first drill. So get out maybe another meter. There you go. So start there. You can see that and you can correct yourself as you go now. Does that make sense? So the third time, which is the final time that we do this, you're not going to have any markers to correct you. We are speeding up to receive and attack forward, and we are making sure our spacing stays consistent. Go! So you pass,
Oh, okay.
and you follow, and you pass that way. You're with us, Daniel. You're with us, Daniel. I'll pass to Daniel, and then Madison follows.
Double here, Daniel.
What if she wants to pass it to Daniel? What does she do? She lets Daniel run onto it. Run onto it. And then she gets right behind him and supports him. You make a little pop, you make a pass, you can swing the ball the other side if you want to, but we have to support and maintain lines. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So pass whoever you want and fall into their line. Whichever line starts with the ball starts with 2 people. Feel good?
With you left, Sarah. Yeah, Daniel, ball here. In your pocket, in your pocket.